Okay. Nice people following. Okay. So we were in the middle of system to speed up time during development, working with time virtual resource. So we're just trying to figure out if we're getting that key press is actually doing anything. And looking at the log, I don't think it is. Yeah, no. All right, so something's not going right there, which is going to be in input. Oh, I bet I know why. Um, in not input, but time, input time. We need to add the plugin that Leafwing Input Manager provides. So let's see here. It's called add plugin. Is it add plugins? Yeah, add plugins, input manager plugin, and then the type of the input. Wait, oh yeah, in the function. Cool. So input manager plugin. Um, time action. Is that all I need to do? Oh, and default. Yeah, that should at least get something running. What I do not know. Okay, so is plus working? No, or at least it's not outputting to the terminal. So let's try moving somewhere. No, definitely not doing anything faster. Okay, so that's not responding. So we've got init, which runs input manager bundle time action, blah, 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 input map new. Hmm. I don't know why it will be true, but just for consistency, let's go with the other form of this. Input map defaults. Yeah. Ads are going to run at about 60. Default, yeah. I really don't know why there would be any difference, but we might as well rule it out. And sort of wondering if I should actually put all of the bindings in here, but we won't go there yet. So I don't think there's any reason to disable that particular key combination, so we'll leave it running. And we'll just throw into some ads real quick while I slip my tea. Yeah, so if just press time action speed up. I wonder if it's because of this action state single. Single read-only query item when there's exactly one entity matching the query. Action state time action. Confusing. Wait for ads, wait for ads. Wait for ads. Good habit to get into. Can't understand why I wouldn't even get the key press. Input mod is running. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Okay, that's all right then. That's why we're having trouble. So add plugins, time plugin. Wait, time input plugin, time plugin. Yeah, that's not right. That's better. And we're back. Okay, so this hopefully should be all that we needed. We just weren't loading the plugin. I at least want to see some kind of key press indicator. Hey, now we're talking. Oh yeah, his his animation is bound to the time, so he's blinking extremely fast. It's not really what's supposed to happen. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that's buggy. I mean, it harvests quickly, which is good, but the movement is quite buggy. What happens if I slow it down a little bit? I mean, that's better. Yeah, I mean, it's quite useful. But why does he get stuck? He just he loses the plot a little bit, I think. He's desperately trying to get to the middle of the hex, I think is what's happening there. How fast could he harvest the entire map? You have to let him move. He's like a little rabbit running to and from the resource nodes. I mean, it is useful as long as you don't try and speed up too much. And he gets stuck. Because the way the movement code works, he has to get to the center of each hex before he can change direction. I suspect that's what's causing the problem. Slow down a little, buddy. There we go. Now speed up. I mean, it's pretty useful. It's just the movement's buggy. It's another bug with the harvesting that doesn't really show up until you spend a lot of time harvesting, is that he will attempt to go to the node even with a full inventory. And then he'll only realize that he has a full inventory when he starts to harvest. I wonder if I could mitigate that movement bug at all, or if I'm stuck with it. I didn't realize it was so time sensitive, so to speak. Oh well. Shall I call that done, or shall I try and debug the movement? I suppose I should try and debug the movement at least a little bit. Okay. Um, so let's look at movement. Um, where are we using time? Time delta seconds. So if we look at the example from the Bevy time virtual example, there it is. So where do we use delta here? Maybe it's because I'm using delta seconds. Oh no, I use delta seconds there, or they do. What about movement? Where do we change the transform? Get sprite translation X, time elapsed seconds. Hmm. I wonder why it's happening. So the movement code is such that it finds the next new tile position to go to, and then it gradually animates or changes the transform on the sprite, because the sprite's not really in the tile map, it's kind of hovering above it. Um, so I guess the question is, where is it getting stuck so that it's moving gradually back and forth? um, we we change we take the direction normalized so that it's between 0 and 1, and we multiply that by the speed, and then we multiply that by the time delta between this and the last event. I wonder, do I need to specify time virtual? Surely not. Whoops. Update the speed of time virtual by delta. Pause time. Real time. Okay. If I just say time, does it give me virtual or the real one? Hmm. It's like it's moving back and forth between two different points. Maybe it's this, the sprite vertical offset. If I take that away, what happens? Let's have a look here. So I go plus, 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 go faster, and you can see his little eyes blinking. And then gather. No, same problem except he's offset now. It's like we're drawing him twice. He's in two different positions because time's going so fast. But you can see that his legs aren't where they're supposed to be. But he has this weird thing where he goes back and forth. I feel like maybe that's actually a tiny bit better. No, not really. Wow. Okay. What else could it be? Did we use that value anywhere else? No. So how does it actually work? Direction, we find the direction for the translation, or between our current translation and the target. And then if it's less than the destination toll leeway, which is 1, then toll pos is new toll pos. In other words, if we've almost got there. Otherwise, we should move. We'll make this bigger. Not actually sure what effect that'll have. Oh, interesting. So he stopped well short of where he should have. Like his feet are quite a long way off to the left. It's not quite what we want because of that leeway. Um, so what if we make it smaller? I don't feel like that's going to be a successful strategy, but let's have a quick look. Now he's just shaking back and forth. Why? What does it do? Okay, so it just exacerbates a problem that actually already existed. Um, you know what we should do is make it within 5, but just move them that last 5 pixels anyway. Um, if direction length is less than destination tile leeway, tile pos equals new tile pos. Transform translation plus equals direction, I think. Maybe. Because I think direction is essentially the remainder of the distance to travel. Let's just check what that does without speeding it up or slowing it down. So it should just kind of nudge them back into the center of the tile. I swear this is too dark. I need to brighten it up. Not enough bright colors. Or maybe it's just my failing eyes. Oh, it's a little bit janky. Yeah, you can see it. What about when it's zoomed out? No, it makes it too janky, too jerky. Okay, no. I mean, yes, we could do that, but not with a value of 5. So 1, maybe. And I still don't know if it solves the problem. Can't imagine it well. Not quite sure what's going on with that, to be honest. I think maybe I need to add the adjustment, the vertical adjustment that we do to put them in the center of the tile to the translation, to the direction that we're aiming for. That looks relatively smooth, I think. So what happens if we speed up? No. Damn it. Why does he do that? So what is actually happening? He's gradually moving until he's in the middle. I'm wondering if the system is just running kind of twice at the same time. Is that even possible? Or like twice in really quick succession? Looks so strange. He's offset by, he slows down so that he can get to the middle of the square somehow, to the middle of the tile. He's very gradually moving. It's like there's one ahead of where he's supposed to be and then one kind of behind, and he gradually moves into the center. I don't know, man. That's weird. I would sometimes wish I could just drag a box and click on the connection, like in some of these other engines, but never mind. This is good. I need to learn this. Um, so we could add the vertical offset. So let's look at where we do that. Oh, we do. Target translation Y. Yeah, totally. If length is 1, continue, so we get to the destination. Direction, target translation minus transform translation. Yep. The length is less than the leeway. Just move straight to the tile. Otherwise, move at the speed of stat speed multiplied by time delta seconds. I mean, we do move faster when we move, but there's like an adjustment. Um, I mean, I can print something, but it's going to be super fast. Let's try just to see what it looks like. Um, direction, normalize. maybe we could catch something interesting by doing this. And kind of stopping it. Okay. Maybe something really funky is going on and it'll show up in the numbers. Oh, this is interesting. What's happening there? So a lot of the time we're moving to a particular destination. It's always the same, always the same, always the same, but all of a sudden it's 0.999994. So it suddenly flips. Oh no, hang on, because we do minus, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. It's like it's oscillating back and forth, which is what we're seeing on the screen. Why? Oh, that's weird. So the Y parameter keeps flipping. Is that because of this adding the leeway thing? I mean the sprite vertical offset thing? But we didn't. Like when we took that out, it's still the bug was still there. Hmm. 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 And the same thing's happening with the value that's being generated. It's either 8 or -8, 8 or -8, back and forth. And yet earlier, when we're actually moving somewhere, where's the spot that looks normal? Yeah, no? What is going on? This pattern is more normal. So we've got a set destination that doesn't change up until about here, and then it starts slipping back and forth. Yeah, so for like the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 ticks, it works, and then it starts completely. It's not an overflow thing, is it? Surely not. I think they would just panic if it was. My dog's sleeping in the sunshine. He cares not for overflows. Oh, we're just going to run ads in about 30 seconds. wonder if ChatGPT has any interesting insights to add to this kind of thing. Hmm. Maybe we'll queue up a question for it, see what it says. Okay, so in a Rust program written using Bevy engine, a sprite appears to oscillate back and forth at times. Output of its target vec3 and the calculated version with speed and time delta incorporated suggests that um, it is rapidly cycling between negative and positive values within the vec3. Suggest a possible reason for this. Well, it probably is to do with the movement or position update logic. Thank you. Thank you, ChatGPT. I appreciate that. Incorrect velocity update logic might accidentally reverse the velocity when it shouldn't, causing the sprite to move back and forth. This can happen if the accelerational force is incorrectly applied in the opposite direction. Is there a feedback loop in the movement logic? Okay, well, let's provide it with some logic and see if it can spot the flaw. Let's give it this. Let's see if that's enough context for it to do something useful. Given the following snippet as context, can you suggest an improvement? Smoothing movement with lerping? Blimey. Refined proximity check. I want to see this lerping business. I've heard about this. Okay, so it thinks direction and distance, sure. If distance is less than the destination tile leeway, do exactly what I was doing. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Just set it to yep, makes sense. As long as it's mutable. No, now the other dog has stolen the sunbeam. All right. Otherwise, let normalize direction if distance is not equal 0, direction divided by distance. Yeah, sure. Otherwise, vec3 0. Interesting. Let's plug it in and see what it thinks. Where's this? What is the lerping? I'm curious. So that was from here. So let's look at what we're doing here. Some smaller leeway. Um, well, we happen to know that that is 1, right? So actually, let's go, let's set it to 5. Um, uh, Fine, I guess. Um, well, it's going to be divided by 1 in this case, which is not terribly useful. So let's make it 2. Otherwise, we just move as normal. I'm not completely convinced that this gets rid of our problem. Well, let's have a look. So first of all, does it work normally? Okay. What happens when I speed up? Oh, it does work. Oh man. So why? Is it because, oh, this is going to bug the hell out of me. ChatGPT solved the problem. That's really annoying. But it's also working really nicely. So what about slow? Oh God. Oh, you can see the jump quite markedly. So I think that 5 value is too high. Um, let's try. Let's try 3 and 1, or maybe 3 and 2. Seems really fiddly. Maybe, yeah, maybe 3 and 2. I don't know. Let's look up lerping. Avoid normalization of vector. Oh, I bet that's what it was. If the vector's 0, don't normalize it. Uh, I bet that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Please define looping in this context. Does Bevy provide any built-in mechanism for it? Looping stands for linear interpolation. It is a method used to smoothly transition between two values or points over a certain interval of fraction. If you have 2 points A and B, looping allows you to find a point that is a certain percentage of the way from A to B. Especially useful for smooth transitions and animations, such as moving an object from one position to another smoothly over time. The basic formula is lerp ABT equals A plus B minus A times T. Okay. I don't think we actually do that, though, in that example, unless I'm missing it. Bevy's math library supports lerping directly on those types. To lerp between two vec3 positions, you can use start lerp end alpha. Okay. We don't actually do that, though, right? Let's just check Bevy's docs. Bevy easings. Okay. So can the original solution you provided be written using the lerp function? I wonder if it's making this up. So let's look here. So we need to understand this. Comment out this bit. Well, it's not erroring out, which is good. Lips t is a factor between 0 and 1. First of all, let's prove that it works. Does seem to. Does it work at speed? Seems to. All right, let's magnify its effect by slowing everything down. Well, we can see a definite twitch as it adjusts, but it's not bad. All right, let's see if we understand this. So there's no difference between those opening statements. Topos, new topos, yep, no change there. I think we are getting that little jump, little hippity hop based on that. we could turn that leeway down to 1 again. Otherwise, calculate the interpolation factor based on speed and time delta. But wait, it doesn't use the lerp. Was it making it up all along? Lerp's t is a factor between 0 and 1. Oh, I see, it's here. Okay. Smoothly interpolate towards the target. Since it's pretty much a straight line, I don't know if it makes a difference. Okay, so first of all, let's get rid of this one and change this one back to 1. And then just have another quick look. Slow it down a bit. Yeah, that seems fine. Cool. Well, chat taught me something useful again. Well, not chat, but ChatGPT. Okay, so lerp, if within the leeway, yeah, we know that. Stat speed multiplied by delta divided by the distance, which is direction length. T is speed factor min 1. Speed factor. Okay. Why would it? Can we not just normalize it? Or am I misunderstanding that? What is the difference if you normalize it? You can't do that with a non-vec3 though, right? Okay. Speed factor is an F32. All right. Transform translation lerp, target translation T. All right, I think I'm there. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit more, but I think it's enough that we've proven that we can speed up and slow down on command. Um, the tile associated with the character. Move smoothly toward the tile. Okay. All right. I'm happy with that. So now we go these three things are our commit, allow equals and minus to modify time virtual or debug. Sweet. All right. And that means that we can update our list of things to do. Okay. Ensure gathering orders are additive. They don't replace the current one. Right. So this is actually a bug. Get rid of a few things. Get rid of many things. How many files have I got open? Okay. Gathering. Do I have controls in here? I do. So, yeah, this function does have too many arguments. You did right. How could I rewrite that? Entity with on context menu, context menu resource, commands, selected tiles. Got query resource node. We could probably move that into selected tiles as an option. So, for example, option resource node, and then get rid of that. This becomes we need one more ignore. A little bit complex, but not too bad. And then this becomes oh, we need the entity. Where does the entity come from? The entity of the tile. Do we need to do that? Why don't we just get the entity from the selected? Oh, I think this prevents us from, if we use get checked, it would prevent us from choosing a tile that wasn't on the board. But I don't think that's necessary. We could just because it's already by definition on the board if it's on the map if it's been selected. So actually, this might not be necessary because we're already getting the entity in the selected query, selected tiles query, and its tile pos. So we can just test to see if it's some as opposed to none, I think is the deal there. So for pos in selected nodes iter, yeah, we would need to do a separate query, which we've already done. in order to get the selected tiles, which is a bit of a shame. It's almost like we should return the things that we need out of it at this point. Oh, we've already got option resource node. What am I doing? All right, cool. So in that case, we should already have what we need to succeed. I'm going back in and getting the node again. It makes no sense. Why don't I do this instead? Honestly, this whole thing might not be necessary. Instead, we could potentially do for ignore. No, we need the entity. Ignore pause node. In selected tiles better, and then no. Um, if it's some as opposed to none, I wonder if filter map will do that for me. I see. Yeah. So we were doing node map, ignoring the value and returning plus. That seems so weird. That's a really roundabout way of doing it. So we need to ignore everything that's not a harvesting node. So if node is none, continue, which is correct. Um, if node, actually no, let some node sum n equals node else continue. If n resource type equals stats resource type orders push pause, that seems to be what we're saying. Yep, I'm happy with that. So we should be able to clear out all of this. And then if orders is not empty, insert that, except that this is the thing we need to change. So we don't actually use the entity. Why do we have it? Because we thought we needed to query it off the tile storage, but we don't. Oh no, maybe we do later on. It's a multi-purpose query. And we don't need base storage, which is good. So I can get rid of that query. Much more efficient. All right, so this to do is what we're doing now. Just add on nodes if further orders are issued. So we probably need to see if the character already has a gathering order. So that means this one needs to have option new gathering order. New gathering order. Cool. If not orders is empty, uh, if let some gathering O equals gathering order, no, possibly, no. I need to concatenate. You're on Copilot. Maybe it can teach me how to do that. It's behind an and reference. Yeah, sure. Concatenate orders with existing orders. Positions extend. Extends a collection with the contents of an iterator. As this is the only required method for this trait, the trait level docs contain more details. Yeah, message extend. All right. All right. Let's see what happens. No, can't borrow it as mutable. No. Okay, what's the actual order here? O is a reference. The data it refers to cannot be borrowed as mutable. Cool. Ah, okay. It is an option for an address though, right? An option for a reference to a gathering order. Hmm. Can't borrow O positions as mutable. It's behind this reference, which is not mutable. I don't completely understand. So we've got this, which is an option gathering order. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, I'm not. I declared it correctly. Ah, I didn't declare this correctly. That might help. Right. No. This is so confusing. All right. I feel like I'm guessing this is not cool. I guess you don't need to declare that as mutable to have the option be mutable. Hmm. Oh, wait. No, I don't know if this should actually be. It can be unwrapped. I don't know how to obtain this reference. To obtain this value. Hmm. Hmm. Consider changing the binding type to be and mute gathering order. I thought that I had. Oh, and there's so many things you have to remember. So many things. Thank goodness. All right, that's better. O positions extend orders. Else, entity character insert gathering order. So the behavior we want to see, hang on, let's just make sure we haven't created any more errors. No, so the behavior we want to see is that we visit the nodes in order, but if we add on, the movement shouldn't change really. So let's start harvesting this one. Okay, it didn't change, that's good. But now it's run out of storage. Yeah, perfect. Yep, yep, and yep. Nice. Okay, great. That works. Sweet. All right. So, any reason I can't call that done? Yeah, that's cool. So, gathering orders are additive. They don't replace the current one. Nice. Deposit crafted items in storage once complete. Oh, right. So this is to solve the problem where we harvest something, we build a stone bench, we actually probably harvest a bunch of things now that we can, which is cool. harvest, 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 and then we set a recipe, and we can see that we're going to get a stone block there, but it doesn't get dropped off. So if we do another one, I actually don't know where the other one went. Interesting. Oh, the movement's bugged again. Okay, well that's buggy because it should. Oh, it has dropped it off. Look at that. It's dropped it off and rewritten the wrong storage index, tile index, texture index is what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, we may have just discovered another bug though. So let's go deposit. I think it's in crafting. Deposit in storage. No? What's it called? Return to storage, maybe? Oops. Whoa, my keyboard's going crazy. My keyboard is not happy. Sort yourself out. Hmm, that's better. All right. Crafting complete. Add the constructed resource. Remove station character assignment. What did we used to do when we have something we had a seeking storage, right? Seeking storage. That's in gathering. Returning, find closest storage. Deposit at storage. But why did it try in storage itself? There is a hash map of storage tile textures. Yeah, I think this is probably the fact it doesn't have one yet. So um, resource type stone block, which is a terrible, terrible icon that I need to redraw. Tile texture index base tiles stored stone block as U32. Yes, you're right. There we go. Oh, yeah. There we go. Let's see if that actually changes anything. And that build a stone bench, speed things up. Harvest a bunch of shit, build stone blocks. Oh, I need another storage area. Now it's got 2 stone blocks. Now it's got 3. Now it's got 4. Okay, well, it's obviously not trying to now, so let's add a seeking storage. Crafting complete. Print the inventory. We don't need to do that. We've got an inventory now. Um, commands, entity, character entity, insert, seeking storage. Which needs apparently resource type. Yep. And type was none because it's going to set itself. Yeah, I think that's right. I wonder if you can probably combine those statements, right? What am I missing? What? That's correct. That's correct. Oh, I think we're missing this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that theoretically should work. Okay, right. Go fast. Pick up some more resources. Build a bench. And construct a stone block. Oh, nice. Interesting though, it's continuing to build them until it uses up all the resources. I don't know that I necessarily want that. But oh, and also the storage counter for stone block isn't working, so we need to fix that. Oh no, now the movement's broken again. Oh dear. Okay, definitely a bug there, but we don't know really what it is yet, so that's okay. Um, but we are depositing the resources nicely, so that's good. Let me see. Tell you what, go P. That almost always helps. Uh,
I wonder if it's been that way the whole time. I bet you it has. All right. It seems really high. How about that? I'll try that. Okay. Now, what is going on here? We've got it's telling us to go back to return to storage every time, but there is a bug. It seems to happen after a few repetitions. Let's see if we can replicate it. Harvest, harvest, harvest. Finish harvesting. Okay. Now set a recipe. Okay, so it's always returning, but it continues to build, which is interesting. I guess when I remove the station assignment, I don't remove the crafting order. But at some point, I think if we try and gather after we run out of resources, it'll fail. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that's a bug. Interesting. It's like it's trying to get back to the crafting station the whole time. All right, cool. Um, it is supposed to remove that assignment. It's also supposed to remove the station crafting order. But apparently that's not enough to stop making them. Hmm. I don't think we need crafting complete anymore. I don't think we need the resources statement anymore because we've got the inventory. Um, so if insufficient storage resources, because we need remove the station assignment after checking one resource, so I eventually will need to deal with potentially multiple station assignments. Now just nuke the entire component. Cool. So um, let's see. Available storage is empty. Removes, I see. We remove the station character assignment. We don't remove the crafting order. But we shouldn't, right? We tell a character to go find some. If there is some. This is a complex piece of logic. All right. So, why doesn't it stop at one? We remove the station crafting order. We remove the station character assignment. Why doesn't it stop? Station recipe complete. Here's one again. How does that work? When this value reaches 0, the construction recipe iteration is finished. Jam code. Minus equals station stats recipe step. if it's less than or equal to 0, move the thing into the inventory and set the recipe complete back to 100. Maybe I need this being logged. Deduct the required resources. Yeah. It's almost like we never get to this block. But we must do, because it gets added into the inventory. What else could cause a recipe to get built? I wonder. I think we just have to first of all, if we get to this point, we should have removed character assignment and station crafting order. In theory. To get re-added somehow. Okay. Add a recipe. Oh yeah. It must get re-added. And then if I try and harvest now, its movement is extremely buggy. Although it does seem to be trying to get there, but not really. Okay. So we do get to this point, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. Where would I see that difference? In maybe in movement? So target pods can be any of 4 things. Actually, let's just say these things. Seeking storage, in other words, dropping something off. Seeking resources, picking something up. Station character assignment positions 0. Destination tile pods, or none. Wonder if destination is set. Okay. No, hang on. Let's just make sure. Because that could also explain why it almost looks like it's going back and forth. Do I have destination here somewhere? And mute destination. Import destination. That not work? Goddamn Copilot. Always getting in the way. Alright, so just to be sure, destination topos no equals none. And we'll do the same thing here. Just to be certain. Give it a crack at least. Okay, so go through the dance again, gather all those, assign storage there, speed everything up, build a stone bench. Alright, and set the recipe of the stone block on there. That. Hey, Spirit of Steel will lead you. How you doing? Yeah, I'm not even sure if that splash screen is strictly necessary because I think we load a lot faster than it takes to display it, but eventually that might not be true, I suppose. I quite like representing for Bevy. Okay, so hopefully if I select gather now, it should actually work. And it doesn't. Alright, that's not good. That's not good at all. So it's still trying to construct, I guess. Bummer. We're trying to solve a problem with the gathering versus crafting logic. So we could do either of two things, but it seems to be locked to the crafting station at the moment and not able to go out and gather all of these resources, which it actually needs. So yeah, bug fixes. Some slightly complex logic in figuring out where it's supposed to move on each tick. So setting destination to none wasn't as good as I'd hoped. So I guess what I need to do is understand where it's trying to move to. Just frustrated a little from SDL2 integer-based rendering. There is float options, but not for everything. I rage quit now and got into Rust with WGPU. Cool. I remember working with SDL2 a little when I was experimenting, but yeah, quickly migrated to Rust. And it's a trip. It's interesting. It's not easy, but it's interesting. I feel like I'm slowly learning. I wouldn't necessarily take all of this as a good example, though. It is definitely the code of a semi-advanced beginner. All right, so it could be storage pause or resource pause or station pause or destination tile pause. Otherwise, continue. So I wonder if we're hitting this block here. No target. Stop. Shades of make files. Okay, so we're not moving, which is as it should be. Speed things up a bit, and we'll go gather. We'll add a storage area. Okay. And make a crafting table. Still no target. We need to make it run out of resources. Which it has. Now it's stopped. Interesting. Still doesn't have a target, and in fact, it's slightly off center, as if it's tried to move away. Oh man, what is going on there? Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so we are stopped on that block. That's good. To me, that means that resource pause is not being accurately set. No, not resource pause. Gathering. Seeking storage, seeking resources. Destination is not being set by the gathering code, I think. No, it's not by design. I guess you had the same trauma. I like WGPU, but it's my first graphics API. Hoping I won't rage quit too soon. But I have Bevy as a fallback. Yeah, I think you're very brave for trying to do it raw. I think Rust gamedev is a nice experience compared to C, C++, especially with the build system on Windows. Oh, cool. I haven't actually spent much time with it on Windows. I build out of a GitHub Action with CI, so it kind of builds Windows for me. So I tend to develop solely on Linux. Is the fast blinking of your character's eyes by design? I'll show you what's going on there. Earlier in the day, we wrote a piece of code to speed up the virtual time tick so that we could make things happen faster, because otherwise it was a bit. So you can see he's blinking at relatively normal speed, and I can slow it down. And speed it up. So yeah, it's a bit of a side effect, but it does have the nice characteristic of telling me when I've got the code running faster or slower. Um, okay, so I don't think we're setting the destination correctly for the gathering, because I can't see how else that would work. So let's look at gathering, look at the controls in particular. If action just press menu action gather. Okay. For character gathering order stats in all characters that are mute. Right, I actually just rewrote this chunk not too long ago, didn't I? I wonder if we're accidentally cleaning it up. We despawn the context menu. And we reset it so that it can be redrawn. Actually, do we even need to despawn this here, because it's going to re-render? I wonder if that's necessary. Menu is available false, menu is open false, and then yeah, re-render. Okay, so cool. But why, what about the destination? Commands, entity, character, insert gathering order. Hmm. And then gather. Here we go, destination. Correct destination to first available gathering node. So this function is responsible for looking at all the orders we've got of nodes together. Normal blinking speed. Yeah, I don't know what normal blinking speed is for a little golem character. He doesn't have a mouth, so I guess he's restricted to using his eyes for expression. Yeah, so destination topos is order position 0. Yeah. So we set the destination here. Set destination to destination topos, and potentially gather if we're already there. Now let's just see what the behavior is there. So first of all, that menu should disappear, hopefully, and it does. And we've set the destination every time. Don't really need to be honest. Create a storage area. Speed things up. Harvest some more. Create a crafting table. Crafting table. Little speedy golem. And then set recipe. I'm going to run ads in a little under a minute if anyone needs a break or a stretch. Okay. So we sort storage. We're back here. I had to tell it to recreate the recipe. And now it's got no stone and one stone block in its inventory. If I try and gather now, nothing happens. I don't know why. We don't even get to the set destination part. Just going to run some ads. Try not to do anything during the ads. Except drink. To come up with a more inventive ad screen. Yeah. All right. Looks like we're done. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see here. There is the possibility that we're not getting what to where we think we're getting. So I guess the thing to do would be to debug into that. It's just going to be a giant pain in the ass because we use that a lot. Maybe like it gets run every tick. Maybe instead we could, let's see, we know we're not getting to that point. So if order positions equals empty, maybe might be stopping us. Or could we be seeking storage and that's what's stopping us? Hmm. Or no gathering order. Okay, well, let's just spam prints basically. This is the lowest form of debug. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Guts to do what you guts to do. So that's going to be a lot of spam, but we can deal. We can deal. Harvest, harvest, harvest. Okay, order is empty, no gathering order. Good. Sure. All right. Still going. So when I give you a gathering order, it's trying to set the destination, it's just not working. Damn. Where is it getting stuck? Where is it getting stuck? It's not this. See if I can reproduce that, because I feel like it didn't do it the last time, in which case it could be a timing issue. Seems to me. Build a recipe. Can't get to storage because it's standing on it. I think it's stuck. God damn it. So many things to fix. So many bugs to solve. Okay. Crafting station. Crafting recipe. Sure. All right, so we're out of resources. It's trying to set the destination and it's moving just incredibly slowly. Damn. I wonder if the fact that I'm setting the destination repeatedly like that is bad. It's just getting drawn back towards the crafting table. Why? Oh, it's so annoying. Um, hmm. I think it's always got to set the destination because if it doesn't, um, it'll never get set. So you could say if it's you could do an is none check. So yeah, you could go if destination file pause is none. Yeah. And then I'll only run it, I hope, once. But I don't anticipate that that's going to improve the situation much. Yeah, continues to build, continues to build. Okay, we've run out of resources. Yeah, it's repeatedly setting the destination. Does that mean that it's been zeroed out somewhere? Maybe that's the problem. Because it shouldn't set the destination if it's already set, right? Destination topos is none. So it must be none. What would be zeroing it out? The movement code? Maybe if we look for destination topos equals none. If node quantity, oh, that shouldn't even be run right now. Crafting considered to none if the available storage is empty. Oh, I wonder. Maybe it's checking that too often. Or the movement code can do it because there's no root, but that shouldn't happen. So this is the only one I can think of that would be suspicious. So let's see if that's firing. This should not fire during a gathering run. Need to come up with a way to run a breakpoint on the debugger in a very quickly called function, like something that's being called like 100 times a second or whatever it is. I'm sure there's a way. Because this bug doesn't happen before we start crafting. And it doesn't happen before there's an incomplete recipe. Wait for us to run out of resources, which we have. Yeah, I bet that's what this is. Yep. Okay. Oh, well, that's good. Now we know. Nice. So, probably don't reset the destination. I wonder if that'll break anything. Shouldn't do, because just the next action you choose will just override it. I wonder if maybe... no, let's just remove it. Too many places to update destination. Okay, one more try. Okay, harvest, harvest, harvest. Set a recipe. And we've run out. Oh, it's kind of still doing it. Oh man. I think it has to be something else in the crafting that's resetting its target position. I bet I know what it is. Nope, nope. Thought I had it. I was wondering if it might be because they already were carrying something that qualified for a crafting step recipe step. Okay. So we know it's not this now. I wonder if I can test to see if that, like I shouldn't remove the assignment if it. Hmm. What else could it do that would interfere? It could add the station assignment back to the character. Where is that handled? Station, character, assignment. Assign characters to stations, yeah. It might be this. So, try that. Sorry, I've just been buzzed by my partner to hand her something. I'll be right back. Okay, now let's see if that's what's going on. Gather, gather, gather. Build, build, build. And run out of resources. Okay, so now if I try to gather, wait, did that say seeking storage? No, that was from the other one. What is going on? I feel like I just need a system that tells me exactly what destination is set at all times. Because this is just really strange. Let's go with debug destination. FM debug destination. Destination query and destination. For D and destination editor. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I was going to do. Except it's not topos. Oh, yeah, it is. Except I want to know if it's none too. Yep, that'll do. Okay. That's going to create an enormous amount of spam. An enormous amount of spam. Simply enormous. Okay, destination none. Good. We like that. And stone bench. Speed up, speed up, speed up. Okay. Sure. Destination none. Build stuff. Destination none. And we've run out of resources. Okay, so now gather. Actually, hang on. Slow everything down. Got a destination, which is the topos. That's correct. Let's speed it up slightly. All right, we're moving. We're moving. Okay, so this looks like it's working correctly. Oh, come on, really? So if I do it slowly, it works. No, he got chucked back. But the topos didn't, the destination didn't change. He's just being shoved back along the path. What the hell? Am I failing to update the topos? What? Well, it's repeatable. So we're going to the correct place, but then we get sucked back to the previous step on the path. And that's as far as we can go. Must be something in the movement code. Because he's clearly trying to get to the right place. Okay. All right, well, that was useful. We've already discovered one bug. Now it seems like we need to fix another. So I bet it is this block here. Transform translation equals target translation. I think what I was doing before was actually better, which was it was something like transform translation plus equals distance. No, it should be the same. No, hang on. Frontline transform translation target translation. Maybe I'll see something weird. Gonna run some ads in a sec. All right, so now we can build. And we've run out of resources. Slow everything down. Okay, we're moving very slowly. Okay. That's correct. Okay, so we've hit our bug. It gets reset twice in quick succession. The target translation is swapping back and forth. So instead of going forward, it's getting sucked back. This is something to do with the looping code, or it goes from targeting 429 to targeting 389. But why? It's like it's reversing back down the path. But also it's not doing it in steps. I think it's the lerp. All right. So it's clearly this block. Maybe don't reassign this. What was that commit I made where not that one, not that one. Oh no, it was this one. It was the change we made to movement. We were previously moving at direction normalize, stat speed. In this case, we're assigning to the translation. So, because the previous code was not doing this, I don't think. Transform translation equals target translation, as opposed to transform translation plus equals like distance, I guess. I mean, let's just compare the two just for the hell of it. No idea why that would matter. Between self and right hand side based on the value s. S is equal to 0, the result will be equal to self. When s is 1, the result will be equal to RHS. When s is outside the range, the result is linearly extrapolated. I wonder if this should actually be speed factor. If it's outside the range. So oh no, that's way worse. Ha, way worse. Okay. Was that now which change was that? Hang on. Equals target translation. Movement is hard, as it turns out. No, that's still a massive problem. Okay, don't do that. massive problem. Okay. Build, 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 build. Same problem. Okay, nothing to do with that. But we are swapping destinations. Why? So, yeah, why? If tile pos does not equal target pos. Wait, isn't it supposed to only go to one off the target pos? Oh, we do. So we do that here. If we're immediately adjacent to our destination. So if paths does not equal empty, maybe it's got something to do with pathfinding. The other thing is it'll run always. It'll run always, even if we're right next to it. So maybe we should be running this bit, getting the length and checking it before any of this other stuff and exiting out early. What exactly would we need in order to do that? Because tile pos will never equal target pos, I hope. So we need to measure the distance. Where is length set? Ah, okay. During the A-star pathfinding. But we can calculate it another way. We can turn them into axial pos. So we determine the distance between the character's current top pos and its destination. So what if we do this instead? Axial pos. Axial. Yeah, this. If we're already adjacent to the target, we're done. I assume we've already gotten tile pause, character pause. Yep. Except we don't want to use storage pause, so it's going to be target pause. Distance to, distance from. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh yeah. Cool. Now, what's your problem? Just for tile pause? Oh, is it maybe that? But I'm specifying it's that I want it to be an axial pause. What's the problem? I just got someone coming to the front door. I will be right back. All right, well, that was fun. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay. All right. Lots of things going on today. Okay, so no to that. This is a... Right. This is a mutable topos. A mutable reference to a topos. Try using a fully qualified path. This is not what I thought it was. Helper's hex grid axial, that's what it's supposed to be, right? I do not need to do this in other locations. But there, topos is not mutable. Presumably it needs to be. Yeah. It's too confused about it being mutable. Could potentially clone it. Is that necessary? Yeah, that's the issue. So, how could I get around that without having to create a new variable? Feels like it should be possible. Maybe it's just as simple as pause cloned. No, because that clones the mutable Bevy thing. Not sure there. I mean, we've certainly got a solution, but I guess we'll just go with it. It's like as ref, or what do you do when you need to convert? Well, we're already doing it. We're converting a mutable reference to a topos. Well, we're converting Bevy's special mute type to a tile pause into just a regular old tile pause. Uh-oh. I think I know what's happening. That's extremely nice of you, and I have to snooze the ad break now because we can't possibly play ads. Ward, thank you. That's really sweet of you. I appreciate it. Hey man, how you doing? How was the rest of your stream? I hope you didn't get bot rated again. That's really nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was just sitting here chilling by myself. Well, almost by myself. You survived? Excellent. Glad to hear it. I am mired in movement bugs. It's a fun place to be. We are trying to determine why, when I harvest a bunch of stuff and build a little crafting table and assign some storage and speed the game up so that it's not terribly slow, why it gets stuck. It's a magical stuck bug. So if I try to build a stone block, he's like, yeah, I'll build you stone blocks, no problem. And then he runs out of resources. Now he's run out, and so we'll slow the game right down, and we'll try and harvest some more resources because you got to help him out, right? And he's like, yeah, I can move. Let me just move. I'll move. I'll move a little bit. And he moves, and then he goes back. It's like he's attached by a rubber band to his previous position. And I have not been able to diagnose this yet. Something funky is going on. But yes, this is my pain right now. Sadly, the movement code has gotten really quite complex. But I mean, he looks like he's not terribly unhappy. He's just trapped in his own little existential crisis, moving from one hex to another. And really, game iteration speed makes no difference except his eyes blink faster. And yeah, he's just zooming along. Okay, so bummer. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Architect, I get it. It's my implementation is I'm almost certainly scary bad. It's also really long. The function does way too much, which is part of the problem. So at any given moment, we can either be trying to store something, trying to pick something up from storage, trying to craft something, or trying to gather something. And it's the gathering after crafting that seems to be the problem, because he gathers very happily before we start crafting. So who knows, man? Just working slowly through it. We have a little list of things we're trying to get done today. And yeah, actually 18 is kind of done. Deposit crafted items in storage once complete. Unfortunately, gathering in the middle of crafting is not working. I don't think we need an ad break right now. Yeah, so Not quite sure where to look now. It's tricky. I think that it's kind of rubber banding back to its previous position from, I assume you've been through the crafting bench script to make sure it's not forcing a default position or something. Yeah. Um, yes, but that doesn't mean that it's not in there. I mean, certainly the crafting is the most likely culprit. We did correct one problem with it, but unfortunately the problem persisted. We were accidentally resetting its destination to none in the script. So we know that that's running pretty much all the time. Most of these functions are all running on tick, on update. But it shouldn't. All it's really doing is checking to see if there's enough resources in storage to carry on with the recipe, and there won't be until the characters finish gathering. So I suppose one thing we could do would be to check for a station assignment. So we could chuck that in there. We're kind of already doing it, but let's just check for the hell of it. Because you never know. Speed up, speed up, speed up. It's my extremely detailed pixel art. Okay, build, build, build. And wait for running out of resources, which we have. So now, oh, that is interesting. So it does look as if we love programmer art. It has charm. Yeah, I get it. It's definitely programmer art. These in particular, to me, I think they look like steaks, like little steaks, like slabs of meat, but they're supposed to be rocks. My A sprite skills are not strong, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. So this is interesting because that should not be happening. So that's definitely you may have just fixed the problem. And in which case I will be forever grateful. So let's see if the yep, look at that. Ah, you're a legend. Man, you just come along at the right moment. At the exact right moment. Um Your chat fixes everything, Maud. How did you do that? Uh, the thing is, that means that this is wrong. That's huge, man. I don't know if there's any point in shouting you out, Maud, because basically the entire contents of this chat are your chatters. We should really be shouting out VRK. Oh, how do I pronounce it? VRchitect. VRchitect. Hey, I get it now. That's clever. VRchitect. Um, yeah, so can continue order must be wrong because we don't have the right amount of resources. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going gathering. So, what is it? Storage areas, iterate through the areas. I'll get some lunch and look. Good luck continuing on. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Filter for a resource. Filter for the resource type. Filter out any resource types that don't correspond to the required resource. And if any of those remaining, I bet this is reversed. I bet this should be that. Let's look at the filter definition. Is it retain or exclude? If an element should be yielded, it will yield only the elements for which the closure returns true. There you go. It was backwards. Oh man. Okay, so hopefully you have just completely fixed it. I'm still a little look for you, mate. Fix it. Thanks so much. The dog's freaking. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, multiple doggo, actually two. Both rescues. One is a foster foal. One is large and relatively sleepy, and the other one is small and very high energy. The small one has corrupted the larger one, so now the larger one barks at everything. It's a long story. We're working on it. We're working the problem. Okay, so gather, assign storage, build a stone bench. I appreciate the two follows, by the way, the architect and Spooky Mitsuki. And Tursod. I don't have one of those magical things that I'm an extremely new streamer, as you can probably already tell, and I don't have any of the magical stuff going that like tells people when things have happened. I have plans, but I'm not there yet, so you'll have to forgive my noobiness. Okay. Build, 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 build. Run out of resources. Oh, interesting. Oh, that fixed another bug as well. He's not locked to the station anymore. So let's try and build one. One more. Now he's out of resources. Hey, it works. 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 No worries. I had a follow alert last stream and it jump scared me. Oh, you stream as well? Let me follow you back. Sweet. Yeah, I'm not sure if I should enable sounds. I'll probably have the same problem. Oh, this is so good. So happy. So we can just keep harvesting. I think this is a lesson for me that I really need to simplify all of my systems so that they're a little bit easier to read. You just started streaming last week? Oh, sweet. What kind of thing do you stream? So we can basically hoover the entire map now. Ah, oh, so happy. Those look so much like tree branches. They're supposed to be stone blocks. I need to redraw that one. Make them look a bit more square. It was a hurried one. Variety streams, so I'm doing a mix of games, game dev, art, music production. Very cool. I'm trying to do everything myself without using like any open source resources. Well, obviously like programming libraries, but you know, not using art packs or music packs. So I am also trying to go down that route. So I know what you're talking about there. I actually started out as a music student before my several other careers, but I never finished the degree, to my regret. So the last game jam I did some Bitwig sound effects and music for it. It went great, but it was something. Okay, so good. So we fixed that bug, and I'm so happy about that that I'm going to add it to the list of things that we were going to do just so I can tick it off because that's just essential. It's going to run some ads. I do apologize. I snoozed them 3 times already. For sure, it's nice to have some control over the artistic direction of your game. I think so too. I think I just want it to be like, even if it looks bad, I kind of want it to look like me, if that makes any sense. Um, yeah, so fix issue with uh, inability to gather after crafting resources exhausted. Done. Ha! Commit before something else goes wrong. Um, when crafting, yeah, we got ads. I'm not going to do too much during the ads. I'm trying to form that habit. Huh. Can't make the commit message small enough. Damn it. Good ads for about another 50 seconds. Okay. So the next job on the list is to ensure that only one crafted item is created per recipe. Because I was going to implement like a little quantity system like Rimworld has, where you build X number of items, or you build indefinitely. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but I'm sure we can work on just doing one at a time. And it's funny how sometimes people will come along and they'll just say the right thing at the right time. Like, have you checked this thing? And you will have, but maybe not recently or not in the right place. So you go and check it again, and there it is. Unbelievable. Okay, so at the moment, the behavior is that the character will try and make. It seems to sometimes stop crafting, and sometimes it crafts indefinitely. Let's see if we can reproduce the behavior. So gather a bunch of stuff, speed the game up, make a crafting station, buzz around the place. Zone gathering, yeah, it works quite well. I just didn't want, for a hexagonal map, I didn't want a square selection. So I did this instead, which I think works quite well. I don't know, I just like the shape better, to be honest with you. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see if it stops after one build. I don't think it will. Maybe slow down a bit. Yeah, no, it's still going. Looks super nice. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It I like hex maps. I don't know why. I just do. I guess it's a point of difference from all of the other, or a lot of the other crafting survival gathering type games. I'm sure there's others that use hex maps. Yeah, so he's just going for gold, eh? He's not stopping at all. Now he's going to stop. because he's run out of resources. It takes 5 to build a stone block, and he's got 4. So even if I gather now, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So he's run out, and he's not trying to start another one. But there's still a piece of code in there somewhere that's continuing the build if there's enough resources. And it might be this. I don't know. If this ran at the same time, maybe it would cancel out the... Because at the bottom of crafting, we've got this thing, if recipe complete, remove the crafting order, tell the character to go back to storage, and remove the assignment, so the character's not assigned to the station anymore. And then remove the destination so they stop moving. So in theory, this would be enough to stop. So I guess what I need to do is track when and where the station crafting order is getting re-added. All I can think to do is to maybe make a little debug function for that. So debug crafting orders. I could debug into it with a debugger, but I'm worried because these functions run like every 0.1 of a second or whatever, every tick. It would be really difficult to get to the right place. I have to figure out a technique for that, like a stop after 10 seconds or something like that. So we want to query for crafting orders, and it's going to be something like query and crafting order, station crafting order. Yeah. And then we'll just go for C and yeah, Copilot, what have you got? What do you want to show me? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Where do we keep the crafting order? Is it on station stats? Station stats. No, we got recipes. It's on crafting station. And it's an option. Okay. So let's change this up a little. Let's go. I know this is super dry compared to what you were just all watching, so I appreciate if you're hanging out or lurking, but I wouldn't blame you for moving on. It's very programmery right now. I see that as a good thing, but I know I'm in the minority. What am I'm querying for crafting station and checking crafting order. Crafting station. For S and crafting S and stations. S crafting order. So it could be either none or some. And we'll run that. Debug. I'm super amazed by the AI right now, that text editor too. Yes, I do use Copilot. I try not to use AI for anything else. But well, I do use ChatGPT for explaining things to me. But that's just Google on steroids as far as I'm concerned. The text editor is NeoVim with a bunch of plugins. But yeah, Copilot gets things right about 30 to 40% of the time, or sometimes it just gives you a clue as to what else is going on. Even if it's wrong. Oh, you meant the character AI? Well, I don't know if there is any. I mean, he's pretty dumb. I don't know. You're probably right. I mean, he mostly just works his way through all the priorities. But yeah, there's also character AI of a sort. Okay, so this is going to create a huge amount of spam, but that's okay. We can deal with spam. I want to see if it's always set to none or if it accidentally gets reset to something else. Trouble is I have to go through the same steps every time, which is why we developed this thing to speed the game up. Okay, so it's got no crafting order, excellent. Still no crafting order, blah, blah, blah. Gather, 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 gather. Okay, slow the game down a bit and set stone block. Some. Oh, yeah, look at that. So did it go from some to none? So we're happening a bit too fast. I don't know where it is. The only way I can tell how fast the game is working is by the blinking of his eyes. Yeah, the crafting order's still there. Oh, I bet I know what it is. Just typing all that out kind of gave it away. We remove the station crafting order entity, but we don't set it on the station itself to none. So we need to go where is the state? Is it station crafting order? Yeah, this. I bet that's it. Who knew it was so complex? Oh, we broke something. Okay, why not? Oh, right. Duh. I removed my debug function. Hmm. Come on, little guy, you can do it. I believe in you. I'm not talking to myself. Okay, harvest, harvest. Set a recipe. Yes! Aha! Okay, let's make sure. Gather. Do some more gathering. Do some more gathering. Build one thing. Yep. Sweet. Okay, another thing off the list. Excellent. Ensure crafting order set to none. Now, my phone is buzzing at me. What's going on here? Nothing important by looks things. Looks like the on-call people. dogs, honestly. Hey, Tilly, come here. Come on, come here. Stop barking at people. It's fine. There are no intruders. We keep the house safe. You just keep the house funny. Okay, push that. And then we get to tick off another thing, which is the whole point of the exercise, ticking things off. Only one item is crafted per recipe. Thank you. There is one more thing I need to do on this list, and that is correctly update stored resources, because I noticed that when we build things, only the stone is being tracked by the storage menu at the top. I think I must have hard-coded it in a fit of panic. So this little thing up here is supposed to track exactly what's in any storage area on the map. A bit like the, well, exactly like the RimWorld storage areas. So if we create storage, what? Stop that. That's better. We should see, yeah, so the stone is being updated. But if I build something with the crafting station, it deposits it, but this hasn't been updated. So I'm doing something wrong in that code. I think it's in UI. UI counter. So let's look for, we've got UI textures. We're tracking a texture for the stone block. Update resource counts. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm hard coding stone. All right. So I need to iterate through all of the menus and track how many of each thing we have. Yeah. So we've got this thing called the counts menu, which is a storage counter resource, and that should be tracking all of the numbers. All I should need to do is find the right one. Storage counter resource is a hash map resource type F32. So in other words, stone or wood or whatever is the resource type, and F32 is the count. So I should be able to go for resource type count n counts menu mute, and then this little chunk of code can go in there, pardon me, and it'll be let stored equals storage areas at a filter map. Resource type is the same as resource type, and then fold, doing it, giving a count. So it should go across every storage area that contains that resource type, even if there's more than one, hopefully. What is it worried about? One of the expressions fields has a method of the same name, counts. Oh, yeah, that's because we're doing counts menu counts. Yeah, they're cool. Do you reference the borrow? Sure can. Cannot find value stone count. Oh yeah, so it should be stored. And this should be resource type. Old count does not equal stored. Then we know that the menu needs to be updated, so we set is duty true. Uh-oh. Oh, I hate this error. Cannot borrow counts menu as mutable more than once at a time. Yes, you're right. You're right. Now I have solved this before. What did I have to do? I think I needed a copy of counts that was non-mutable. A read-only copy. So let I don't know, old counts equals, sure, Copilot, you can try to do that if you want. And then this one is old counts. Yeah, that's it. So we actually ignore, we don't need that value. Okay. Because we're grabbing it out here. All right, I can deal with that. That does look an awfully lot like it's going to work. That's the theory, at least. That is the theory. Okay, let's try it. Gather, please. Set some storage. Set a stone bench. Speed everything up. Roam around the screen. Collect all the stones. Build something. I want this count to go up. Ah, there we go. Perfect. So grab those. And we'll build some more. And this count should go up. And it does. Maybe one more. Magic. All right. We're knocking out the problems today. Excellent. Okay. So another git commit. That is done. Fix hard coding of counter menu. And that is one more tick on the list. Okay, maybe a pixel art BRB screen. Yeah, fair enough. We could do something like that. What's the time? Oh, I got a little bit of time. Some dinner should be relatively easy today. Yeah. All right. Let's go with a sprite. And how big would it need to be? I think I'm streaming in 1080p because I do not stream anything demanding. Just a text editor. And well, and the game, but it's pretty basic. So let's go with New project. It's almost something you do in GIMP, really, isn't it? Although I suppose I could. I don't. It doesn't have to be 1080p, right? Like I could just use a smaller one in scale. Interesting. Let's start there and see where it goes. So we could do. I have no idea what I want text in the game to look like, except it's already it already uses whatchamacallit, Rubik font. But maybe I want background and I don't know, text. You're not allowed to laugh at my aspirate. Well, you are. Just don't tell me about it. I'll never know. We kind of use a fairly muted palette for this game. So I'm just going to doodle for a little bit and see what comes of it. In fact, I wonder if I should use the palette. I bought this little Wacom Intuos thing, which is pretty basic, but it does kind of work. Let's see if I can get this happening. There's always a few incompatibilities with Linux and pointer devices. Oh no, it's working. Okay. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so we're going to need much bigger brush sizes for this. Working. Maybe I should just make it my handwriting. Okay, so undo. Just rolling some ads. I do apologize. Gotta hate the ads. I don't know if I should just work on a color background. I might add a layer and go with what color? Can you reorder them? Merge down, flatten? No. Oh well. Don't know that I really want to draw against transparency right now, so let's try just filling everything and just to get started, just use a really huge brush. Oh, is that really as big as? No. Oh, there we go. Kind of greens. No, that's dreadful. Wonder if you can make the brush shape more like I mean, it would be very easy to just cop out and make it like my handwriting, like which is very shaky. But it just doesn't look good. Let's look for inspiration. What do other people do? I need ideas. Pixel art. I don't know, sign? No, that's for tiny ones. I mean, I could do something like that. Like a rectangular shape and then just jagged edges. And then use it as kind of Tablets are harder to control than you might think if you're not used to drawing like me. See me try and create a straight line. It really doesn't work out too well. No, don't do that. Oh yeah, it's not continuous. There we go. And just kind of shade it in blobs. Actually, we want to kind of cut into the edges of it, right? So just make it really beat up and torn. Doesn't matter if the art is bad, it matters if it's better than it was. That's what I say anyway. This one doesn't look so much like it's distressed as it's being like eaten by worms. But that's okay. And if I was going to paint on it, actually, is there more of a paintbrush option? Oh, spray tool. Interesting. B. B. That's so bad. Like, so bad. So bad. Almost gloriously bad. Almost, but not quite. It's like the cursed version of that nice neat sign we saw in Google Images. I don't think that that little bit is working for me. Oh, that wasn't quite what I intended. Let's go with yeah. We need a little bit of delineation so we can see where the top and bottom actually are. It's so bad. Everyone uses a sprite. I'm starting to feel left out. Well, you shouldn't be after watching this performance. You should be feeling very grateful that you don't have to be a programmer drawing these pictures. No, not cool. Not cool. Not liking the little shading action. I could try outlining though. Basically, I'm just trying to be fearless because I feel like that's how you get to where you're going in this kind of situation. Still, the artist has so much work to do. Yeah, huge amounts. No, this is not working for me. Maybe a slightly higher brush size. Just keep working away at it. Maybe I'll switch back to the mouse for a minute. Does outlining help or hinder? That's the question. Maybe we also need to kind of do some grass action. This is about the level of your average kindergarten picture. Any minute now we'll do a sun in the sky with light rays coming out from it. But you got to start somewhere. No, not that. Stop that. Everybody got to start somewhere. Seriously? Why can I not fill the bottom? Ain't that the truth? Okay, apparently 64 is the biggest possible brush. That's good. Maybe a stray pixel on one of the edges. Yeah, you're probably dead right. Okay, so we're not going to be impatient. We're just going to take it slow and steady. Like, for example, grass growing. In some ways, I'm probably better off drawing at much lower resolutions rather than this sort of thing. We're imitating the grass on my map. No, that's just silly. I don't think this is going to achieve the effect that I'm after. Okay, tell you what, let's go low res, and then we can just make it bigger if we need to. It was a worthy attempt, but I'm not afraid to start over. Let's call it 128 by what would it need to be? Doesn't really matter because we can just expand it. 128 by, say, well, what was the one in the example? How big is that? Oh, huge. Interesting. So the way he's built it, or she has built it, is, or they, is by outlining and then complete vertical lines of shading and related browns, and then just cutting into the edges with outline. I don't hate that. So let's see how we could emulate that. Oh yeah, what was the image size? Oh, huge. Okay. But maybe that's been expanded. What else we got on this sort of inspiration board? Yeah, not loving it. Not loving it. Not loving it. Okay. We'll keep it basic. Let's start small because small, what do we call it? 64. Small gives us the least room to look like a klutz. I'll head out now, joining some friends. Good luck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. That was really nice of you. Okay. So let's see here. We'll go very, very simple. Ah. Oh, that's right. You can line draw. Yeah, I don't know if I love that, to be honest. Maybe if we go the other direction. And maybe single pixel black outline. Oh, no, don't do that. What happened there? Yeah, so single pixel black outline. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then disappears behind. So we could say this kind of width-ish. Yeah, bit off center, but actually I don't care so much about that. And then do a fill, maybe this kind of thing. And let's say we may as well. Oh, we don't have to. Because we could place this just over the editor as a transparent layer, but with a transparent background. So let's try. Actually, let's see what that would look like. Actually, I can just add an image source to OBS. So let's save this as in the Icon Geek folder, and we'll call it the Sprite files, not YouTube banner. It's going to be BRB. Okay, so start with white, maybe a slightly wider. Oh wait, that's tolerance. Oh, I see. There we go. B. R. Start upwards slightly. No, I shouldn't really copy the first one because I want it to look slightly different. BRB. That looks a little bit too square for my liking. So maybe a bit more like that. And this could get a bit more space in there. And maybe a slightly thicker top. No, that's worse. But we could anti-alias some of this too. And maybe center it a little bit more. So say something like that. Yeah, kind of what we're going for. So yeah, how can we add some, looks too uneven now. Add more like some gray or just lower opacity white. No. Yeah. I don't really know how to anti-alias, I'm just gonna wing it. And see if I can avoid making it worse. Potentially. Let's drag it down a little bit more. Without taking away too much of the shape. Not sure whether to maybe add some shadow or no, I mean it's not perfect, but could also like put a little grassy action down the bottom here. So this kind of thing, or maybe start dark and go light. And start thatching it out a little bit. Go across as well. It doesn't really look like grass. It's just make this a little bit more restrained. Just a bit more restrained. And a bit more darkness at the base maybe. Oh no, 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 no. That's too much, too even. Yeah, this is all too parallel. It looks really artificial. Instead, if we go back to a more grassy color and I don't know, I mean, it's not terrible. It's pretty terrible. How can I add some, well, no, how can I add some less white notes to those letters? Like more of a dark gray. Because we've got a lot of gray in the game. Maybe a 2 pixel. No. Maybe like a 1 pixel gray accent or even shading on the inside of the letters. Right. Doesn't really work for me. What about just occasional gray? Like flecks. Hmm. Oh, sorry, we got ads again. Appreciate the lurking though. It's very nice of you. I should be playing some kind of stream acceptable music, but I haven't even got that far yet. What's time? 6 o'clock. I should go and sort out some dinner, really. See if I can get it onto the screen, and then maybe that'll be my deal for the day. Save as BRB sprite. Export. BRB PNG. Yeah. Okay, and then in OBS, we need to add a source, which is an image source. Add existing. No, add new. And we'll call it BRB. Browse. Where are we? Work, Eloquent Geek, BRB PNG. Open. Well, it's very, very tiny. Well, that's different. How could I, maybe if I put it right at the bottom of the screen so it looks like it's growing. It's not too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen many better, but I've seen worse. Maybe it should be next to... Yeah, why not? Okay. I think we can call that done. At least enough for a check mark. I appreciate everybody's patience with my pixel art abilities and the follows and the very generous watching of the ads. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to find someone else to raid. Wonder if Quonk's still running. He was on for a long stream. Doesn't look like it. I think. Who else we got happening? I don't see anyone I recognize except for Jitspo. So no one on my follows anyway. So we might send folks over to there, if that's all right with you. Jitspo, how do I spell that? Take it easy, everybody. I'll see you back on Maud stream.